So the Asus TUF series have proven to be the best bang for buck, at least for me, and this year's F16 series have proven to be just the same. Exceptional value for the right amount of money, and the only brand that actually rivals that would, in my opinion, be the Acer series, and especially the Acer Triton series that came out this year. But today we're going to be talking about the Asus TUF F16 and what an amazing value is at around $1,000. So just like any other laptop brand, guys, this one comes with plenty of different configurations when it comes to the GPU, CPU, RAM, etc. And it's very hard for you to find the one that you're looking for sometimes, and especially at the right price. This one is around $1,000 or $1,050 depending on where you buy it from, and it's featuring the Intel Core i7-13615HX and the RTX 4060 GPU inside of it, which in my opinion is a pretty good combination, especially if you want to do some moderate gaming as well as some rendering work, exporting videos and stuff like that. But believe it or not, guys, this laptop is actually a lot faster than my standalone computer that I was using before and that you have probably seen in my videos if you have watched them. And I'm actually super excited about this video today and to explain to you why this laptop is actually an amazing value, so let's get right into it. So as you can probably see here, I have hooked up the Asus TUF F16 to my external monitors. They're only 1080p, but I really like my screen real estate, so whenever I'm not going around and around, I just like to station it here and just connect it to my monitors. And I think that this GPU handles it pretty well. You can hook up to, I think, 3 external monitors, but only one for the GPU port, and if you want more, then you would need to deal with some adapters or buy a dongle like me here and connect it to the internal graphics of the CPU, so it can be able to run one of these monitors or both of them. You can also get this laptop with the i7 14th generation, i9 14th generation, the RTX 4070, 8090 and stuff like that, but we're talking about cosmic prices here, and you're probably looking for a nice budget gaming laptop if you have clicked on this video, and this is exactly what this Asus TUF F16 version is. But I've also did my research, and apparently if you buy the RTX 4070, which is $200 more, you're gonna get about 10 FPS on top on your games. So is it worth it? You tell me. And speaking about build quality, we have an aluminum chassis and everything else is made out of plastic, which is good and bad at the same time. Good because it makes the laptop lighter so you can carry it around more easily, and bad because, the overall build materials are not that great. I would have preferred it to be a completely aluminum finish, but hey, in this price point, I don't think that you can get better than that. And actually the laptop looks pretty sleek and pretty clean, especially with that nice logo on the top. And unlike other Asus gaming laptops or any other gaming laptops, this does not scream gaming so much, and also the trackpad is nothing exceptional, but it gets the job done and it works just fine. And the keyboard does not flex so much, which is kind of good. It means that they actually use some nice decent plastic materials to build this laptop, and I actually enjoy typing on it. There is a 1-zone RGB on the laptop, not a 4-zone one, but in my opinion it still looks great and it's still bright and nice and flashy. And if you want it to look like you're a professional gamer about to go into Immortal or Valorant, then you can definitely do that with this laptop if you like. And I'm a real fan of RGB as always, and there are plenty of RGB modes that I'm gonna show you later on in this video. And there is actually only one thing that I don't like about this laptop's build quality, and that are the ports and where they are positioned. You have only 2 USB-A ports and 2 USB-C ports, as well as an HDMI port and of course your power outlet port. In my opinion, they could have just put a little bit more USB-A ports, because most of the things that I want to plug into this laptop are USB-A, not USB-C, and the USB-C ports are not really useful in my opinion unless I buy an additional dongle and it becomes an even bigger mess than it already is. So yeah, this is my complaint about this laptop. And my other complaint is that these ports are on the left and on the right side and not on the back of the laptop, but this is purely a design choice and it's not a deal breaker for me. Now you must be wondering if this laptop overheats, and to this, no, it does not overheat at all, especially if you put it on one of these stands for laptops just like I did. And this laptop can reach about 60, 70, 80 degrees on its CPU and about 60 to 70 degrees on the GPU when you strain it. This laptop is actually super silent even when it's running something heavy, and definitely not as loud as my previous Acer Nitro 5. And a little life hack from me: if you just close up this laptop like that, it will not only keep it cooler but also increase your FPS in almost any game. There are plenty of vents on the laptop to make sure that the heat comes out just fine, and I haven't experienced any issues, no slowdowns or anything like that. There is this massive 200 watt charger that comes with the laptop, and it makes sure that you are charging it within like 1 hour of plugging it in, and the battery itself lasts about 5 to 6 hours, which is a lot better than the 2 hours of battery from my previous Acer Nitro laptop. Speaking about the display here, we have a 2560 by 1600 165 Hz display refresh rate, and that's kind of awesome. As you can see here from this video, it looks a lot more vibrant and better than my Samsung monitors on the behind. But there is one complaint that I have with this display, and that would be the random flickering that can happen from time to time. It's nothing drastic, it's just a tiny bit of flickering going on, but you can see how they didn't use the best quality materials when it comes to this screen. And after a bit of digging online, I found out that depending on the manufacturer of this display, of this panel, you're gonna get a completely different result. So there might be flickers, then there might not be any flickers. But that aside, guys, there is absolutely no ghosting on this IPS panel compared to my VA Samsung panels on the behind. And I'm actually loving it. It's just a little bit too small for me. I really like my big screen, so I usually just keep it closed, and that solves the problems that I have. When we're speaking purely performance, I'm actually loving this laptop. The i7 CPU here makes sure that everything is running super smoothly, and I'm someone who actually opens hundreds of tabs during my work online, and this laptop handles it very nicely, probably because the CPU has 14 cores and 20 threads inside of it. And the only thing that's probably not the best is that this laptop comes with 16GB of RAM, so you would most likely need to put another 16GB to go to that sweet spot of 32GB, and to make sure that you never run out of RAM. 16GB is okay, but in my opinion 32GB is definitely the best spot right now, especially in 2025. And for my fellow content creators out there, yes, you can export 4K videos at 30 FPS for about 2 minutes for a 10-minute video, and that's actually awesome. Just make sure that you download the Studio Graphics drivers to make sure to get the most out of this GPU. But overall, the rendering power of this laptop is pretty insane, so you won't have any problems with it. But wait, this is a gaming laptop, so why am I not talking about the gaming performance? So I haven't had the time to test many games on this laptop, especially heavier games, because I was in the middle of moving countries and everything right here is a mess, as you can see. But soon I'll make a dedicated review and test of many different games, both heavy and lightweight. But the ones that I have tested so far would be Hogwarts Legacy and Throne and Liberty. And I'm happy to say that this laptop performed exceptionally. You just have to make sure to enable the DLSS feature, because this is still a mobile GPU, this is still the mobile RTX 4060, so you cannot expect it to rival the standalone computer's performance. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with this GPU. I've been playing some Valorant and reaching around 300 FPS, so what more could you want, right? But jokes aside, guys, you can run most of the games on this laptop just fine, except some super duper high-end games, but that's just to be expected. Now, speaking about the Asus Armoury crate, this software is very good, and at the same time it's too cluttered with stuff, as you can see here. Like, everything is just going on at the same time, so you would probably need a little bit of time to get used to it. But just to tell you about the main features, there is your GPU mode here, which means that you can change how much the GPU is trained, how much voltage it goes to it, and stuff like that. So there are your ultimate mode, which requires a PC restart, and then the standard mode, and then there is the eco mode for when you're on battery, and the automatic optimized mode, of course. You can also control how many of the cores of the CPU are used from here. I just like to leave it to the maximum. And here are your stats, which shows you also the temperature and the utilization of the RAM and storage and stuff like that, as well as some nice shortcuts for your games. And there is the place where you can basically control everything about your laptop here, with multiple different tabs that I won't go through because they're just gonna take too long. And the Aura wallpaper is actually super interesting because you can set it up in many different ways. The RGB on the keyboard has many different combinations that you can try and mess around with, so that's pretty cool. And there's also your game visual, which basically changes the colors and brightness depending on what you're using the monitor for. This works only on the Asus monitor, of course, but there are multiple different modes. And as always, I prefer to leave it at RTS RPG because I just like the colors and the vibrancy. And there is also your game library here. Not that you would need it, but yeah.
And you can always mess around with your profiles and adjust a bunch of other stuff here. I literally haven't had the time to go through all of these things, and I don't think that I will actually use the entirety of this software, but it really depends on what you're looking for. And that's about it, guys. I think that the software is great. It's just a little bit too cluttered. Nevertheless, still great.
Still, what do you guys think about this laptop? Tell me down in the comments and let me know if you've also played some super high-end games and how this laptop performed on them. That would be all for me, but have a wonderful day and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.